Today I present you with the FX-6100. This is the bulldozer processor. This is Colton from WhiplashPC.com. We have the FX 6-core processor here. It's a Sandy Bridge. Everybody's been waiting for these things to come out. There is an 8-core version. This is a 6-core. There's about a $40 difference between the 8-core and the 6-core. This is a 6100 series. It runs at 3.3 gigahertz and has 14 megabytes total cache. Let's see what we have. This thing has been one of the waiting points of the summer for me, at least. I've been waiting to see these things because they do support, they're up there competing with the Intel i7 2600 series. They're not beating it, but they're pretty close, and for the price you get them at, it's amazing. FX60 processor here. It says unlocked FX processor by AMD. That's the processor itself. It looks pretty sweet. It's actually pretty tiny. It's the same amount of pins as the AM3 series. It works on AM3 plus motherboards. It says important, prior to installing your CPU, please go to your motherboard's manufacturer site and download the BIOS by AMD. So if you're going to get that, you might want to check in on that because you might need to update your BIOS before it will work. Inside here shows the socket types and everything that you'll need. Basically probably will tell you how to install everything. I'm not going to go into that much. Yeah, it just has a bunch of words. If you don't know how to install a processor, you can watch other guides. It's really easy. I don't recommend doing it without watching a guide because you might bend a pin, because there's a certain way of doing it. This is the fan here. I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like. Most of the AMD fans are really loud, cheap, and annoying. And this one's very heavy, and it's kind of got a weird looking fan. It's probably going to be loud and annoying. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use an Exigmatech aftermarket processor cooler. It's pretty heavy duty. It's got a solid brick of copper on the bottom, as you can kind of see there, covered with heat paste. This is the AMD fan. We're going to go ahead and run some tests on this processor now. As I said before, it's an FX-6100 processor. It's 3.3 gigahertz, 6 cores, 14 megabyte total cache, and FX processor sticker. Alright, so we got everything up. The processor is getting a 7.3. The memory is getting a 7.5, followed by graphics at 4.2, and gaming graphics a 6.3. Hard drive is getting a 7.0, and that's the 64 gigabyte SSD by Crucial. If you're watching this video for the processor, the 1100T is slower than this, and it scores higher. That means, to me anyway, that obviously Microsoft doesn't have something figured out with the drivers, or something's going on where they're not utilizing the full potential of the processor, because it's only getting a 7.3, and I know for a fact that the FX6100 is definitely faster than the 1100T. It runs faster in almost all tests besides this one, so even though it's getting a 7.3, it would probably be closer to a 7.8 to a 7.9. The lowest I'd see it being is a 7.7, because the 1100T was a 7.6, I believe, and that was very fast. But that's about it for the testing. We're getting a 7.3. Processor's dang fast, and everything else is pretty fast also. The hard drive is really, really fast. It loaded Windows in about 5 minutes or less once it got it off the CD, and it was good to go. Thanks for viewing this video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate it if you thumbs up and subscribed. Thanks for viewing.